back to my channel, The Masked Mormon. I am in fact the Masked Mormon. Why am I wearing a mask? Well,
Why are you wearing a mask? Were you burned by acid or something like that?
Oh no, it's just they're terribly comfortable. I think everyone will be wearing them in the future.
I hope you liked that last video, and I'm glad you could come back. If you could, subscribe, like, leave a comment, and even consider following me on Instagram or on Twitter. We're in a little bit of a different location. We're actually in my garage, and I actually have a new camera. So hopefully the image quality and the video quality is a little bit improved. Today we're going to conclude what we started with the last video, where we talked about how much the plates would have weighed that Joseph Smith claimed to retrieve. We talked about different materials Joseph could have used to construct the plates. Originally he claimed that the plates were gold, but we determined that at least 100 pounds, there was almost no way that Joseph would be running with something tucked underneath his arm for 3 miles with something that weighed roughly half his body weight. We did determine that the likely materials that were used were tin, bronze, or brass, and that gave us a weight of around 40 to 60 pounds. This seems consistent with people who claim to have handled the artifact. So today we're going to do two things. The first one is to construct a simulation of the plates. I don't have tin or anything to construct something that's actually the size or that looks like the plates, but we're going to have something that simulates the weight, and then for the second thing, I am going to run with that simulation. In the story, Joseph says he ran 3 miles with these plates tucked underneath his arm. I don't want to do that. I live in a place that's very hot, and with a dark mask, dark shirt, I don't really want to run 3 miles with something kind of heavy tucked under my arm. So we're just going to do a mile. If I'm feeling good enough afterwards, maybe I'll go a little bit farther, but I don't want to push it. So, to get started, I have a couple things I borrowed from my gym. The first one is a collar from a standard Olympic-sized barbell. This weighs 10 pounds. Then I have a bunch of 10-pound plates that we're going to use to even out the weight to about 50 pounds, so right around in between the 40 to 60 pound range. Then I'm going to use that to run around my neighborhood and just see how difficult that is. So, to start off, I've got my bathroom scale. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take my weight collar, put it on one plate. Just takes a second for it to read the weight. Weighs 19.6 pounds. And take another plate, put it on. After another second, this is 29.8 pounds. A third plate goes on. That's 39.4 pounds. And I'm going to put a fourth plate on. Which then weighs 49.4 pounds. I'm going to lock it with a collar and just do one final check of the weight. At 49.4 pounds. So this is roughly the weight of what we determined that the metals that Joseph had available to him, which were tin, bronze, or brass, and weighed about 40 to 50 pounds. So this weighs 50 pounds, and let me tell you, this is not an insignificant amount of weight. So first of all, this is very uncomfortable. It puts me off kilter. You have to see I have to lean. It really digs into my side a little bit. Imagine something that's more of a rectangular cube with sharp sides poking into you. And frankly, it is really awkward. If I can carry it like a baby. That's a little more comfortable. But I can tell you, running any amount of distance with that is going to be a lot of trouble. And then if I have to fight somebody off, oh, that is not going to be something where I have a lot of ability to move around a lot, or to take evasive action, or to defend myself. Especially since Joseph claims that a couple of people tried to hit him with the butt of a gun, or otherwise try to accost him. So this is just 50 pounds. If the plates were made out of gold, we determined that that would have weighed about 100 pounds. There is no way you would be running with that in any easy way. You could definitely lift it. I definitely lift a lot of weight like that as it is. You can see I spent some time in the gym, so I'm definitely not weak, but an extra 100 pounds under my arm or in front of me, that's going to weigh me down quite a bit. It's going to make my footsteps a whole lot heavier, and it will just make the whole process of trying to move that much more difficult. So if instead I do something a little more conservative with the tin, brass, or bronze, 50 pounds is a whole lot easier to handle. I can hold it with one hand, but it's still not something I can do for very long. I can carry it like a baby. I can try putting it under an arm, but doing a Heisman sort of move is going to be very difficult. And I'm going to want to shift this around quite a bit, because as one arm starts getting tired, it's going to start being more and more difficult to hold it. So I'm going to have to continually change locations. I'm going to want to carry it low like this, up. That just makes me need to lean back more, so a little bit more at my hip. So that's that's already kind of difficult just moving it around on my bench here. So I can only imagine that running with this thing is going to suck. Like I said, it's kind of warm out today. I'm going to be pretty sweaty, so not only am I going to be the masked Mormon, I'm going to be the sweaty masked Mormon, and this will be quite the process. So I'm going to get ready for the next phase of this. So we have our artifact, which is just a bunch of weights from my gym to simulate the actual weight of the plates that Joseph Smith claimed to retrieve. And we're going to run just a small portion of the course that Joseph claimed to have gone, and we're going to see how that goes. So here we are on the course. I have hydrated. Hopefully everything will go okay. My wife, the masked mistress, will be following along as I run, probably laughing as I struggle with this whole process and filming the whole ordeal. Alright, here we are with this beastly thing. So I'm also going to time myself. So here we are, start. Alright, let's go. This already sucks. My shoulders are already kind of tired. It definitely is weighing me down. I'm not going to be moving all over the place, that's for sure, because that's exhausting. I'm going to have to slow down here.
maybe hard to get into your running rhythm too?
Yeah.
Partly because your arms can't swing and like you just can't get into that jogging
Yeah.
stride.
Whew. Oh, I'm gonna pause here for a second. Oh. Yeah, it's I went maybe a quarter of a mile that way. I'm already just, and I don't think I'm out of shape at all. But that's definitely a whole different beast. I can't imagine if that was 100 pounds. I think it's just safe to say that the plates weren't gold. Joseph probably walked leisurely home from wherever he hid his artifact that he constructed. And there's no way he was fighting people off as he did this thing. So.
Well, maybe he trained, babe. Maybe he did it a mile every week and practiced.
Maybe. That he'd be a good apologist, Master Mistress.
Yeah. We should add that to the experiment.
Yeah. Yeah, he did it all Rocky style. Well, and if the plates were made out of metal and had sharp edges, a lot of that poking into you as you moved around a lot would not feel good at all.
Yeah. Does it say he didn't take any rests?
No. Seemed to indicate though
If
that he was gone for several hours.
From someone.
I'm gonna pause. 50 pounds. Well, we've gone half a mile maybe, and yeah, this is just, this sucks. My arms are jello, my shoulders definitely are on fire. Plus it's hot. The south kind of sucks for that. I can tell you, if somebody wanted this, they could have it.
You said he had a limp from his childhood surgery, right?
Yeah.
Was it a limp from pain or was it a limp from mobility?
I don't know.
Because that's an interesting question. But did he have any other injuries?
Not that I know of. Though the limp would have been an added handicap to this whole process. The final straightaway.
This is where you sprint, right?
Definitely not. Oh, let's pause. The last little bit, Joseph said after his third attack, he kind of, just sprinted the rest of the way home, collapsed by a fence, recovered his breath a little bit, and then went the final way home. You can see I'm definitely out of breath. We've gone about 0.9 miles. I'm gonna go ahead and call it. I'm definitely not going around 2 more times. Whew. Not saying it's impossible. It took me 15 minutes to make that one route. And it's definitely difficult. It's pretty safe to say that Joseph was a bit of a tall tailer, and it definitely makes for a dramatic story. So, whew. But there it is, running with the plates. So there you have it. Back in my garage after I ran a little bit less than a mile with this beast. Whew. Extra 50 pounds. You saw it was not an easy prospect. I am still kind of winded from it. Whew. Definitely sweating up a storm. But I think it's pretty safe to say that Joseph did not run 3 miles with something like this. He did not fight off 3 people with something like this. If anything, he constructed his prop out at a log, walked it home over the course of several hours, taking frequent rests, and then before he barged in to let his family know what was going on, concocted this wild tale of being chased and this high drama story that has now wended its way into church lore. So the plates certainly weren't made out of gold because it would have been too heavy. If there was a prop, they're made of probably tin. To give a goldish color, maybe brass, but that's kind of where this stands. So tell me what you think in the comments. If you like kind of stuff like this, definitely again, like I said, give a like, follow me on Instagram or Twitter, and I'll see you again in that next video.